This is Ophelia. She is a 3-year-old from the Muddy Creek Herd Management area, and I'm actually using her for a competition called the Wild Horse Training Challenge and the American Mustang Training Challenge. And so today I was working with her on pressure and release and just coming to me and taking steps towards me, and she did fairly well. You can see she's very attentive to me and watching me, and super soft on the halter. When I barely raised my hand up, she was already taking small steps, and I just wanted to reward any little try that she was going to give me. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of waving my whip in a small circle, and then I'm asking her to take a step forward. So what is going to happen is the more that I reward her stepping forward when I wave the whip, she's going to, instead of me pulling on the lead rope, she's going to understand that when I wave the whip in front of me, she's to walk forward. And that's going to teach her to come to me at liberty. And right now I'm using the line to my advantage, so I would wave the whip in front of me and then ask her to come forward, and when she did, then I would release. What I really like to do with the new Mustangs is walk around them and just kind of get their eyes on me, and I'll also ask for hindquarter yields or just for them to take a step forward, but this really helps to teach them to lead and also to desensitize them with me walking around different parts of their body. So you can see I pass her shoulder there, and she gives me a good hindquarter yield, which I really like, and I didn't really have to add very much pressure. And then I go ahead and just ask her to let me touch her, and she kind of backs up a little bit, but eventually you see she kind of stretches out and meets my hand, which I really like about her is that she's very curious and she understands the meet in the middle concept. So what happens here, and this was my mistake, is I didn't release when she gave me that one step because I was hoping she would give me two, but I was asking too much from her, so she got really locked up, and you can see I kind of fight with her for a while, and I don't get really any step or try from her until I kind of turn to the side after this part here. But that'll happen if your timing is kind of off or if you miss a step or ask too much. So a trick that I really like to use is walking to the side or walking towards their shoulder, which I do here, and then I got a good step. What I really like doing when asking for the horse to let me touch them is making them take a step towards me when they're a little spooky of my hand. I feel like this just kind of makes it their idea that I'm touching them because they're coming towards me. And whenever they take a step back, I make them replace the step almost immediately. Even if I have to stop petting them, I will make them replace the step. And she actually is accepting treats from me, as you can see, but it takes her a long time to eat them. She rolls them between her top and bottom teeth, and so I just give her a big release here so that she is more comfortable and will accept the treat. So but it really takes her a while to eat them. I'm not sure why it takes her so long, but she likes to roll them between her teeth and grind it up, I think. So right here you'll see Ophelia really brace up. It almost looks like she's stretching, but she's bending away from me, and then she finally decides to take a step back, which I ask her to come back to me. But a lot of times you'll have horses that do that and brace up really, really bad, but she's not too bad about it. I actually, she's pretty mild when she does do it, and you can see she came out of that locked up state pretty quick, but that's what that was. When she kind of looks like she's stretching, she's just moving away from my hand and is just a little nervous of me coming back up to her. So I will do a lot of desensitizing of walking up to her and walking away so that she doesn't feel the need to brace up, but that'll be in later sessions. But today I just wanted to work on, my goal in my head was just working on her letting me touch her. So by the end of the day, actually, I had 2 sessions with her. I didn't record the last one, but I actually got to touch all the way from her withers down to her shoulder, and I was actually able to stand beside her. But today, as far as we went in this video, in the morning session that I had with her, I only made it to her mid-neck area. And so I should have recorded my evening session, but I didn't think about doing it. So it may not look like it here when I reach out to touch her, but this was a huge improvement with her because I stepped up first of all and she didn't brace up, and she kind of snorted a little bit, but I just decided because she didn't brace back or take a step back or really shy away from me, I could reward that with some positive reinforcement, which she took happily and actually chewed her treat quickly this time. And then she actually reached out again and touched my hand. So I gave her another treat because I was just super happy with that whole 30 seconds of progress. Okay, so coming up right now is a really, really momentous moment as well for me. If you pay close attention to Ophelia's breathing, you'll see she just took a big, deep breath. And if anybody knows the 6 signs of relaxation, taking a big, deep breath like that is one of them. So just her being relaxed with me being not 2 feet away from her, I was so happy. I was like, yes, girl, I'm doing something right. So you'll see me making a lot of weird hand gestures. I could act cool and say that I'm desensitizing my horse to hand movements, but in reality, I'm shooing away stupid flies. So it looks like I'm, swiping away at a ghost or something, but they were a nightmare all over me. And you could see that Ophelia was stomping, and they're all over her too. So they honestly came out of nowhere with this warmer Arizona weather, but they're being pretty pesky. So right now, I strategically placed my hand and my arm kind of around her face when I scratched her forehead, and you'll see me do that right now. But the whole purpose of this was just kind of give her the opportunity to look at me more and kind of get my scent, which I was sweating a lot, so she could kind of smell my sweat, which is kind of gross, but this allowed me to be able to reach down and take another step towards her, and I was able to now scratch her whole neck right there, and I gave her a big release and a treat. But like I said, like in the evening when I did my evening session, I was able to move farther and farther back, and I was able to do that because I strategically placed my body. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that you stick around to watch the next couple of videos that I have coming up of Ophelia, and we're going to do some good things.